Welcome, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer 1745, and we're in June 1937. We have a panzer division operating in Spain, trying to cut off Catalonia from the rest of the Republican-owned Spain. And so we are pressing ahead there. And we are building up our armed forces currently. West Wall Border Watch. So now, okay, so this has given us level 3, I believe it was. Yes, level 3. Now, let me take another look here. Sudetenland Award. This is the first time, I mean, I played it last weekend, but meaning I have not played beyond this point right now in this mod. Okay, we have Atlantic Wall, Western War Plans. Okay, now, this isn't terrible, the West Wall kind of thing, but I like the way I did it. You know, you may go, well, of course, Gamer, you liked it because you did it the way you wanted to do it. The way, and I did make a mod, never publicly released, for Hearts of Iron 4, and don't even bother asking about it because it wouldn't work with the current version of the game, in which you had things like national focus, but what it would do is it would start an effect that would slowly give you the wall over time, and not just pop it all up at once. I like that a little better. 14 days. Okay, Anschluss, well, we need more either support or more manpower in Germany. These 5 divisions in Oberjan. Okay. Now, this, and unless something has radically changed here, needing at least 5 divisions in Oberbayern, or however you say that, sorry, Germans, and Niederbayern, 3 divisions there. They tried this in development, the Paradox team, and they found that the AI, they couldn't get the AI to do it. But I guess this is set up for humans. Or maybe they're getting the AI to do it. I don't know. Okay, it's down here. We need to get 5 divisions. So let's impress the Austrians that we want them to join us. I'm not online on Rumble. Thank you for the input there, Arno. Don't know that I'm going to worry about fixing it now, but thank you for that input. Let me Alt-Tab over to here. You won't see this. Well, it says that I am. Yeah, nope, you're right. It just sort of has a... Okay, I don't know. Something went wrong with Rumble. Well, I don't know what went wrong with Rumble. It says I'm streaming, but it doesn't. I don't know. Something's up. Thanks, Arna. Yeah, now, yeah, absolutely. But yeah, unfortunately, Rumble, every time I have to renew it and do it all new again, I have to do new set of settings. And so I don't know if if I just did something wrong with that. I may have. Okay, we'll do this now. But thank you, Arno. It's good to know. It's not that important that I got to rush and fix it. The important audience is YouTube and Twitch for me. Everything else is a nice to have, not a required to have. Okay, so don't I have at least 5 divisions and over? Oh, no, these are not in there. Okay, these 2 are not in there. That's in a different... Wittenberg. Hello, Ragar. Hello, Jetin. Good to have you here. That service does not do profiles. For the live stream for Rumble, what I think it is that they have a limited number of ingest take-in points for live stream. So every time that I want to do a live stream, I've got to go in, sort of upload a 5-second placeholder video and tell it all the stuff, what I want to, name of stream and all that kind of thing, and then it will give out a upload URL, where I'm supposed to be sending it, and in a basically a password for that, and I have to redo it every time I go live on Rumble. So they're not, and I get views there. Normally for a live view, right, a live stream of 4 hours, it's normally 30 to 60 views, but they don't seem to stay around, and nobody, I didn't have it open. When I've had it open, no one says hi other than maybe Arno. I'm getting views and I'm getting a few subscribers over there, but so it's sort of worth it, and I very much support alternative technologies, shall we say, alternative services. So, okay, we want to do some heavy artillery. Let's get 2 heavy artillery into production. Yes, we are operating in Spain. And hello, Lone Wanderer. How you doing? Good to have you here. We are trying to. Okay, we've lost our organization. We're down out. We've been pushing down in here with our single. Right now, well, let's see. Can we change it? Yeah, we're still limited to 1 division currently, so we can't send more than 1 division. Okay, with this mod, and maybe I have not, with this mod right now, it's limiting it, as you can see here. Let me just how I quickly get here. It's the total, it's limited by the number of their provinces currently controlled. Now, I don't know if that is something specifically for Germany, giving this size. Historically, Germany did not send any ground combat forces to Spain. But they sent approximately a 300-man, people rotated through, but a 300-man training force to Spain that, disobeying orders from Berlin, some of the members of that training force went with their, because they were training up the Panzer ones and whatnot, that the Flak 18s, the big 88 millimeter flat guns and whatever, those were being operated by Spaniards, but they had some German trainers going along and overseeing, commanding, observing, whatever you want to call it, in combat. So they did, some percentage of the 300 men did fight it at any one time, did fight in combat, but Germany did not want them to. Now, there were active pilots as part of the airborne, the flying part of the Condor Legion. They actively fought in combat, but and with approval. Now, Spain had 3 divisions in, we see, and they did have, there was a Portuguese volunteer force. I don't remember how big, but not terribly big. I see 3 so far Portuguese flags here. That's maybe a bit more than historical. And by this time, by June of 37, there was approximately, because one was sort of I think they may have gotten up to 3 divisions and a brigade, but at least roughly about 3 divisions of Italians openly serving, and they, unlike the Portuguese, which were Portuguese volunteers, quote unquote, hey Niagara, fighting for the Spaniards. There, of course, were the Spanish Foreign Legion, but the Italians were actually wearing, Italian uniforms. They were not disguised. They were not pretending to be, Spanish troops fighting in the Civil War or foreign volunteers. No, they were there as national troops of Italy fighting in the war. Now the Soviets, I don't think, and I'm not seeing Soviet flags at the moment. They did not send a volunteer corps at all to Spain for ground troops. They definitely had Soviet pilots, quite a few of them fighting in Spain, and they had a bunch of Soviet advisors and a bunch of the Cheka, or whatever, pre-KGB types. Going around shooting people, particularly, Spaniards behind the lines and whatnot. So, but as ground formations, divisions or brigades or even battalions, no Soviet ground forces were there. Again, but maybe, thousands. I think it's in the thousands of advisor types that showed up, but no combat formation. They particularly, from my readings about Spain, there is a campaign during the Civil War to have loyalists to Stalin, to the Soviet Union, in charge of all formations, in charge of everything else. So they are, over time, purging anybody who is not loyal to the Soviet Union. So early days, you might call it, the Spanish Republicans being, various factions fighting the nationalists. By the end, all the high command were, in essence, communist, in essence, people loyal to Franco. And the formations that did continue to exist that weren't part of these groups were constantly trying to be bled white. Because once you got Stalin loyalists into power, they would put all of the, the syndicalists, the anarchists, or Trotskyites, or whatever you want to label them as, other sort of factions, put them either at the center of the assault or defend some position that was exposed, always trying to bleed them white and always undersupplying them, where they tried to keep the forces. So this way, when Juan the volunteer is looking for what unit to join in the Republican side of the Spanish Civil War, well, do you want to go join this one outfit that all has plenty of submachine guns and ammunition and artillery and rifles and all this stuff, or you want to go that other group out there that everybody gets a rifle of some sort, and hey, even they may have an average of 10 rounds per man. You want to, which one do you, artillery? No, they don't have any artillery. Which one do you want to go join? And so they're trying to starve out the disloyal forces throughout the whole campaign, basically trying to kill them off. I think this is part of the reason on 2 fronts of why, part of it, why the Republicans lose. One, talent, leadership talent that isn't loyal to Stalin is not allowed to command, meaning somebody else, they're being pushed out, assassinated, whatever. and two, for some of the important assaults, counter-offensive, holding important positions, they don't put the loyal, the loyal Stalinist forces in danger, the well-equipped forces in danger, and it becomes too late that the nationalists have an overwhelming, superiority by too late in the situation, so they're not able to stem the tide. So that's they're not the only reasons. Part of the reasons, of course, are the three Italian divisions that are put in there, and other reasons why the nationalists win. But and also the idea of really getting into inflexibility of command because of the, shall we say, commissar elements of, the Cheka being in there and wanting to get rid of quote-unquote defeatist generals or officers. So if you're like, oh, hey, things aren't going well here, let's retreat because they're not going well, you're a defeatist, bang, hold on, and then you lose anyways, and you lose the formation, whether it's a company, a brigade, or a division, that you should have withdrawn back behind the river or something when it was smart to do so. So you're already getting that inflexibility. Whereas as far as I can detect, and again, I'm not the greatest expert, I don't see, anybody being shot, officers for defeatism or something on the nationalist side. You might be relieved of command. You might be a bad career move, but it isn't a fatal move to your life and your family for, deciding, hey, things aren't going well. So this is, a stark difference between this. And hello, Je Vanderiz folk. I hope I'm getting that right again. Glad to have you here. Let me go back up the stream. Niagara's been saying stuff. Let me check out. Okay, Niagara. Okay. Hello, Kajifi. I don't know if that's how you're supposed to pronounce that, but hello, a bunch of letters there. Remember, people from Czechoslovakia acted as morons and went to Spain to volunteer against horrible Franco. Then Franco turned out to be the best for Spain and kept out of the war. Well, I would agree, Ragar, that all things considered, Franco did the best he could for Spain. I mean, I'm not saying Franco, maybe he's the best of a bad lot, but he did the best. And there were lots of people in the international brigades that went and fought. Absolutely. Okay, girlfriend meeting on Wednesday. Supply raid. Okay. Did Franco deliberately slow down the war, avoiding decisive tactics to kill as many Reds as possible? Not as far as I can detect. I've read a few, like one historical fiction book on what was going on in Spain. I've read a bunch of articles. I watched, I think it was done in the 1970s or 1980s, either late 70s or early 80s, I think it was, something like a 12-part documentary series on the Spanish Civil War, done, they had a bunch of the things were just subtitles, but done basically in English, and read some other articles and things on Spain. So, I'm just giving you my overview. So I'm sure I'm imperfect on my details of Spain. But there are, in 12-part series or whatever, that's 12 hours of watching stuff. I think that series may be on YouTube, but maybe not. I don't know. It was years ago that I saw it. And so I've read and watched some stuff on Spain, and but as far as I get, as far as I get with Franco and whatnot, no, I don't see him deliberately trying to kill as many Reds as possible. Tens of thousands of Republicans flee the Spain in the latter days of the war into France, as well as get off on some ships and stay out there as exiles. After the war is over, there's a continued anti-banditry or anti-guerrilla campaign, because there are guerrillas going on. Franco does run some long-term camps for people that he sees as being dangers to the state, shall we say. As far as I can tell, not that people don't die in the camps, because people, die of cancer or whatever. They're not death camps. Now, I'm not saying they're holiday camps either. And some of these people understand that there are Red massacres going on, in which the Reds show up in a place and kill all the nuns in a nunnery. Okay, they literally just butcher all the nuns or butcher all of the priests. And none of these people were armed when they showed up. Now, and none of these people had been physically harming people prior to this, even though they may have been big landowners in Spain, the monasteries or whatever, and had a bunch of peasants working out on the fields. None of these these peasants may have been poor and whatnot, and maybe the church was exploiting their labor or something, as we would see it in a modern, what they were being compensated, paid, or whatever you want to call it, for their labor, may have not been good, and the church may have not been treating them well as laborers. I'm not going to try to argue that one way or another, but to just go in and butcher them because they're priests or nuns? Okay, now, then and there's not good records of who did the butchery other than like unit names. They know, the 3rd Volunteer Brigade of whatever did the action. So when Franco is, getting to power, when you identify somebody from that brigade, now you may not be sure when he joined the brigade, date-wise, and and maybe not even only 20% of the brigade actually did the war crime. Well, he may be just like, okay, well, you're part of this brigade that did this war crime. You're now in a camp. So some of this is a criminal justice type situation for war crimes committed during the Civil War. Now, of course, there were also war crimes, and some of them were reactions to seeing butchered nuns and priests. And I'm using, because there were other butcheries going on, but these are ones against people who had no arms, had not been committing any violent acts. So I'm using them. And then sometimes they would come in and they would round up, go into some area that was some, anarchist factory or whatever, the soldiers that had found this stuff, and then butchered the factory workers. They just may have been on the wrong side and had nothing to do with the war crimes. There was definitely war crimes committed on the nationalist side. I'm not trying to whitewash the nationalists here. But the nationalists are as much a reaction and maybe very much an overreaction, again, to the point of being crimes. And those people, the nationalists didn't face justice because they were on the winning side. Sure, yes. So it's just how I'm looking and seeing the Civil War. And we see these butcheries going on against priests and nuns prior to the outbreak of the Civil War, as well as a sort of midnight tit-for-tat campaigns against landowners, and then the landowners sending death squads against who they think are either the death squad members or the supporters of the death squad. There's stuff that going on prior to the outbreak of the Civil War, yes. But I see the worst violence from the left. Now, again, that may be my bias, and it may be colored by the things I've watched and read, but that's my point. That's how I come to these conclusions. But no, I don't see particularly wanting to just kill off the Reds. Now, Franco is worried about supplies, and we can talk about sometime, and I know I have in the past, that Germany is keeping Spain on a short supply line a leash, shall we say, supplying him enough. Basically, 3 ships maximum are sending in munitions to Franco. Another 3 ships are sending in approximately an equal amount of supplies from Germany. We're talking about from Germany to the Republicans. The same guy is running the operation, so they're supplying both sides. Germany is, but Franco has a limited amount of resources, so he does not want to destroy his units particularly, but he's also worried about his stockpiles of munitions, that Germany is not flooding them in. Germany is keeping them on a short leash. Like I say, he has to pay for his munitions. They're not given for free. Now they're being paid for primarily by resources coming out of Spain, raw materials basically going back to Germany is being paid for this. Germany is taking over functionally control of primarily, again, resource refineries and mines as they're moving along. There's a specific German commission that is set up. Italy is getting some of that, but not as, but they're more like a 20 or 30%, where Germany is getting the lion's share. It's all being, to a point during the war, I think in about 1938, Franco goes, hey, we could get a better deal for our raw materials than selling them at the price that we're selling them to Germany. We could sell them for more to other places. And the German answer is fine. You sell it to whoever you want. We're going to stop selling you munitions. Is there somebody else out there going to sell you munitions at, this is in 1938? And basically, of course, the answer is no, because obviously the Soviets and whatnot won't be selling the nationalist munitions. Britain, France, Portugal can't make munitions. America, whoever, are not going to be selling Franco any sizable amounts of munitions. Italy just basically is not capable of making enough of that. So Franco is stuck with the deal that he has with Germany. You might very well read about or see, and Franco might have known about places that he could push harder, faster, better at times. But again, unit preservation, like I said, I pushed too hard with my earlier Panzer Division and got it cut off. If you push too hard and you wreck a force, and you're not having enough munitions, and you're not getting, you're limited mostly to, who you can recruit, mostly through volunteers within Spain. I'm not saying there's no draft, but I don't know of a widespread draft. Again, when I look at my language carefully, when I say I don't know, doesn't mean it's not there. So, with all of that, yeah, Franco is a balancing act. Okay. Yes, we are. Niagara was mentioning. Yes, we are sort of trying to figure out when we can do a multiplayer campaign of Hoi 4, probably with this mod, but that is not 100%, but likely. And hello, Ari. Good to have you here. If France deliberately, or Franco, I think you mean Franco deliberately would lose. Yeah. Franco did very well in keeping Spain out of the war. Absolutely. Hello, Tomat Cherry. I guess I'm getting that right. Out of the war, but he turned Spain into a bloodbath. My great-grandfather got almost beaten to death by the Guardia Civil after the war. I'm sorry to hear that, Cherry. I will recognize, shall we say, what war crimes, or just crimes, because some of them were committed after, that the nationalist regime committed. My perspective, and I'm very sorry for your ancestor, for his stuff and getting beaten, that would be bad. And his brother was shot in front of his house. Yeah, okay. All this because they once fought for the Republic. I'm not doubting that that's true. I just, from my viewpoint, I see that had the Republicans won, because like I was explaining earlier, that it was becoming a Stalinist puppet I think Spain would have been a Stalinist puppet regime that had Franco win. Had Franco lost and had the Republicans win, it would have been a Soviet-style regime and would have been worse, including for Republicans who were not on board with the Stalinist regime, as well as the nationalists. I also think, like you say, Franco did a very good job at keeping Spain out of World War II. I think Franco tried, whether you think he was successful or not, tried to modernize Spain during his time. And also importantly, Franco set up a post-Franco succession with the returning of a monarchy that was, and he knew it was going to set up a, shall we say, a liberal democracy, but that would hopefully not have it go to a radical democracy or a radical, socialist state of, communist or whatever state. So of the viable alternatives that I see in starting around 1936 through to the end of, World War II and whatnot, I see Franco as the best option. Not to say that, again, I'll agree that he committed crimes or people in his name committed crimes. I'm not going to argue against that. I'm not saying it was all good. I'm just saying of the options available that I know of, I think he was the best choice. And that may be a bad thing, but that's sort of the reality. Okay, why can't the United States? Because it lacks two towers. Okay, yeah, hello. Punchunu, how you doing? I get the joke there because of 9/11. Can we get him to... I'm not sure who we're getting to play again. Well, my mother... see one eye because Nazi occupation, so I'm not happy current government didn't stay neutral during conflict. Yeah, and I believe that's in Czechoslovakia for Ragar. Yeah, there's a lot of bad things. I don't think Czechoslovakia had a choice about staying neutral or not. I think they were going to get invaded one way or another. Too many disclaimers? Well, maybe, but it's, shall we say, the realities of the situation. I try to look at things within what was happening at the time. Now, do we have enough for Anschluss? Okay, what we just don't have is enough manpower in divisions, so I don't know. Let's add another. I want these trained out here in the west, and we'll add some units. Okay, well that... Okay, so we've capped 15% of the maximum. Okay, maybe I should have been training more units faster. Now, I did not train more units faster than this because of this. I was down logistically. And I didn't think training was going to be as big an effect. Okay, now we are ready for... well, let's start with maybe helping that win. But I gotta say that sometimes the disclaimers about everything at this time period. The situation in the world was just shit. It really was. Hey, thanks for following. Good to have you here. And... okay, so we pushed there, they've won. Now we're gonna push here. Okay. Doing the second generation. Anschluss, not yet. So let's look for Pact of Steel. I would say the Pact of Steel needs to come before Anschluss historically, but burn the naval treaty. U-boat effort, 21 days. Better production. That looks nice. But damn, I know it's, well, I know it's only 35 days, so that's a lot of additional production capabilities. Now, let's move you over to here and put you up over there once we get you there. Now when I come down here, well, they at least have enemy air superiority negativity here. Did you see that bones they found on the island South Pacific Maximilian? No, I had not seen that. I'll look into that, Paul. I remember some controversy before about some stuff. Again, this is cool that they're having the animated gift here. Fall of Beijing. Looked like Chinese troops marching there, but all right, well, cool. That's interesting. So I guess made it, tried to, I guess, crash land. Well, it is a bit slow here. Marco Polo Bridge incident, which should have, of course, popped up before. Taking of Beijing. Muzzle brakes, right. Now, I, of course, like a game that is sort of slow and detailed. I'm sorry if you're real, whether you're talking about me and my talking, I don't sure, but no. Well, let's get this going. So I gather she made it to an island. Maybe, I don't know if crash landed on, trying to land on an island or something like that. Fuel refining improvement, very nice. Okay, we'll probably do these early, but probably wait till 38. There are some... Now over here, let's get the Stuka, the early model Stukas. Okay, yeah, I just want a nice radar station. Probably don't need them this early, and there may be some events that will give it to us as part of, or this national focus give us to as part of that. Well, Striker tactical bombers. Let's do tactical bombers. Let's see about getting that going. this is okay. That's the tactical, so strike is the DO-17. There we go. Herb did not say it was when they found parts of the plane. I heard that they found some parts of a plane that they thought was hers some time ago. I forget which island too. It's just some island out there in the Pacific, as far as I remember. That was plausible that she was flying over or along or whatever. We already have a location for this here. Yeah, why? Okay, training. Okay, we're almost done. For the Panzer Division. Replacement. Yeah, I'll look into it. It's interesting if they have confirmed that it was her. Everything I've heard about her is that she was, she wrecked a bunch of airplanes on landing. And so she wasn't terribly, and in normal conditions, not like trying to land them in a rainstorm or something. So she was more of a publicity figure than a very good pilot or anything like that. Yeah, disparaging the dead or whatever, and I don't know, but I sort of get that from what I hear. Well, let's put it there. Now, I'm not big guy that normally worries about, or person that worries about stats, so. Okay, equipment. What I'm looking for is to figure out the size of my army. Like I say, normally don't bother with this stuff, so it's not something I look up. Yeah, there's probably a good way to look all this stuff up, but I don't know it. Because I know up here, obviously, but this, oh, well, here, maybe it has it. Okay, here we are, Army manpower used. So we've got a ways to go. We've got almost 100,000 to build up on, and we've maxed out our ability to train currently. Okay, keep that in mind, folks. Now, can I? Okay. Can I send some more air volunteers too? No, I don't think they're gonna let me. Yeah, that's the unit that's down there. I wanted to increase numbers. Well, this will allow me to fly out of Germany? Well, okay. That's an interesting move. Again, I'm so glad they've done this, and sort of jealous that they now have these animated maps. That's cool. Or this is a map, but animated images. Japan declared war on China. Well, great. So we've done that. We could do the Punimunde for 21 days versus that's the 70 days have sort of kept me from expanding that. I don't need the steel yet. We probably will. Yeah, let's get some paratroopers. Okay, a bunch of more factories have come online now. Yes, artillery, but also aircraft. Yeah. Right. Okay. These are the reconnaissance. Let's go down to that. Let's do a little more trains. A little more automobiles. Well, $3 a year. Well, let's do a little more than that. Get that up and going. So we'll get some of those in production. One more. Well, that leaves us with 3. I don't think I've ever had a game that I felt I've had too many fighters here. So let's get the fighters going. Let's go back to this group. Let's move you down to here. able to operate further down into Spain. Okay. Folsom-Jaeger Division, nice. Does anybody in chat have any particular priorities here they think we should focus on? Rice Arbeitstienst, maybe. I'm happy for input. Might not take it. If you like, say, surrender to the Soviets now. No, not going to take that. Point Albert Speer can't do that yet. Well, yeah, let's do the Reich Arbeitstienst. The National Labor Service. Research or the oil. Yeah, the synthetic oil is not a bad idea. That is... Hello, Turnlow. Okay, so... Let's see. This game has economic fatigue. Where is it here? It's here. We're right now in crumbling economy. I'm disagreeing with, again, this is one of my major disagreements with this game for the time period. We are at 61%. We're in crumbling economy. This would make it 2% worse. Where this would make it 4% better. So okay, so we'll make it 2% worse and get our synthetic industry up and running, and then we'll make it 4% better. Okay, political favors. Worsening economy. Just looking to see if there's something here. Okay, so we can do that. There are defense zones, 5 factories, 4 factories. Okay, good to see special projects here. To see if any of those would help our crumbling economy. Fall of Shanghai. Okay, well, the Japanese are moving rapidly. They've landed and taken Shanghai. They're pushing up there. Global organization, nothing there, okay. We'll remove one. Now, will any of these... Now, Uncharted, I don't think Uncharted is watching all of this, unfortunately. I would, from my readings, from my understanding, Helmar Schacht of the top people in the National Socialist government, I don't think Helmarshak was particularly a National Socialist. He was a nationalist. He might have even been an ultra-nationalist, but I don't see him as a National Socialist. But of the leaders in power, he is the one, in my opinion, that understands economies the best. I would have him, while he's in power here, reduce the crumbling economy effects. That would be one of the things I would have him do, as opposed to other people here. So yeah, that would be one thing that I would see about doing, is to have him there's a reason to keep him around to improve the situation there. Yeah, let's get naval research speed up. Okay, well, looks like they're now supporting this attack. Well, okay, good. So Franco's now supporting our attack. We're attacking from multiple directions, and we just got the BF 109 into researched. Okay. I want to look over here at Luftwaffe. Part of what you should try to do with a game like this is integrate the national focuses with your research things. Like, I held off on researching the tanks until I got this 100% bonus, because I guess in theory you don't need to go down this path here, but if you want to get some of the later models of Tigers, this is probably a good way to go. So you might as well not, research that. You research the tanks until you get that. So I'm just looking here, continue 109. Okay, so this is later. The F4 G6 K9. So so that's down here. So we're not really risking too much by coming in here a little early. But yeah, let's get this going. Oh, and still think there's going to be artillery and heavy artillery, but I think we're going to focus a little bit more on bombers, transports. Let's just get, I know we'll get another bunch of those, but let's get that going. Okay, we're now down by aluminum. So, I Huh. So I don't know why they pulled it out of the aluminum no longer from Hungary. Now you still have the bauxite there, but you don't have the aluminum. There may be some very good reason. I'd love to just hear why. Do we have a bunch of aluminum factories that just need bauxite? Oh, okay, core aluminum smelter. Yeah, let's... Oh, well, I closed one. Damn, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, well. Click to be nullified when this... Okay, I didn't read close. I was thinking activate, just because I don't know why I want to close it. I guess to save manpower or something. Okay, so, are we... Okay, wait a moment. Let's now come back to here now that we've canceled that. Why don't... Okay, oh, it reactivate. Okay, here we go. Did I just miss that before? I'm not sure. Okay, now the other thing we're going to research is Panzer IV's. Yay! Yeah, this is the one here. Let's get these up here. Okay, bauxite we're down to 9, and now what we're down is on rubber. Now, we will be very soon getting synthetic factories and synthetic refineries. Now, I just want to come in here and okay, so we're getting from synthetic refinery output. Yeah, we'll wait to deal with the rubber once we get some more synthetic refineries going. Okay, the 1937 Imperial Conference. All right, and that's for the British Empire. Okay, new class of U-boats. Good. We're probably going to stay away from the Graf Zeppelin. Sorry, naval guys. We're just not playing that much of a naval campaign. Just look there. Do anti-aircraft. No. Get in these weird sort of places that there's very little good to research. Well, I guess we could do that. Good, now we're back up to 3 armored divisions. Because I lost one. I was a bad enough general that I lost one. The Kingdom of Yugoslavia requests sales of an airplane from our fighter reserves. Consumer goods. No, I don't think I want to send them any fighters, sorry. Or bombers. Okay, this is almost done. We're gonna wait a bit. An operative can be recruited. Okay, tough. Okay, well, I haven't been playing spy mode well, have we? Okay, the team had no trouble getting into the country. Okay, well, this is post-mortem. I'm playing this very well, I know. Had no trouble getting into the country and definitely avoided the tail. The enemy counterintelligence. Our agent has successfully obtained examples of the enemy's encryption machines. Well, very good. So we successfully did that spy mission. Well. Well, let's see. What are you trying to look at the different? Well, let's send you to there. Build a spy network there. You can build one in Paris. And well, maybe we should have you building one down. Yeah, down in Austria. Okay, Tom Gaming, sorry. I guess I don't know whether it's the stream or the game is not pleasing you, but have a good day or evening. Thanks for being here. Hopefully see you some other time. Maybe you'll enjoy. Tomorrow we're going to be live playing War Thunder. Maybe that's more to your enjoyment. Question: is it advantageous to rotate units into Spain to give them combat experience? Oh, well, now we can push into here. Okay, here. It might be, in the sense, I'd have to send this unit home, and then send another one there, because this unit could become higher level veterans. Lone Wanderer says yes. So it could be, but we only have one division at a time here. So yeah, it could be. Okay, nationalize synthetic industries. Now, because we are now at 64% crumbling economy, let's do this, which will get us back to 60% economy. just research something. I don't know. Yeah, we'll do the fighters. Sort of want to skip production of the first version of the 109. Okay, so now let's see about crushing this pocket up here. Now that they've occupied all the way here with me, and this looks weak. So if we can crush the Catalonia pocket. Now definitely you can play more detailed than I'm playing here live for you guys. Slower. If you want. Oh, well, they took Nanking and they lost it, and then they took it back. Well, interesting. Now, what I'm going to try to do here is can I so they don't want me to send. Will cost. Oh, I don't have 50 political power. Okay. Maybe when I get 50 political power, I can try this again. Send an observer team to China. See how the Japanese wage war. Heavy anti-air. Well, let's look at our current production of heavy anti-air. Okay, I know those we can. Yeah, let's. Okay, I don't know if it was because we were pushing into mountains or this unit was better on the defense there, but we failed. Okay. I don't know whether it's a supply problem. Well, seeing that, okay. Well, we got the Reichsarbeitsdienst. Bad idea to attack. Yeah, I know. I wish I could have sent the sort of traditional 3 divisions that the standard game. Okay, now here, this would help us. The Reichsbahn, we're going to do this next. Deutsches Arbeiters Front. Yeah. Industrial Research Consumer Economy Factory. Yeah, we'll do this because this will also help our crumbling stability and whatnot. So the Reichsbahn. Reich Autobahn, I should say. The Reichsbahn is the. Well, no. Yeah, this is the Reich Autobahn. Yeah. Reichsbahn is the railway. Reich Autobahn is the car railway. Now, it's about this time historically that they got, I'm not good on dates, that they got Austria. So we're behind schedule here. Here, okay. We can't add any more, but what we can do is dump that, which will maybe give us enough, probably not. No, not enough yet. I didn't think so, but just and also a massive reduction in economic fatigue. Well, very good. Okay, so what, back over here, let's, well, keep wanting to see trucks. Okay, well, yeah, let's throw in a motorized division, and we can add another division there. There we go. Try to continue to expand the army. I'm not against the idea of having caps on how fast you can expand the army. I just was unaware of how big it needed to be for Austria, really, and that it was going to be capped more than simply by this. Okay, well, in training. So once we get some of the ones in training into the field, then we'll have enough. So we just need 100 or 750,000. So we need about half of the ones that are in training in there. Then we can get Austria. You know, we are full on our storage. So what we're going to do is build a fuel silo. I guess Ostmark. And up here we can do 2 of those, because I would love to store up enough fuel for the war. I'm not saying we will store up enough fuel. Okay, we're having supply problems here, so I'm going to move you back to here to see if we can get out of the supply problems, which is, of course, hurting our organization levels and whatnot. Okay, we're no longer having supply problems here. Yay. And we have more divisions. Okay, these guys are not well trained, I know that. We very well may train up. This is so cool. You know, I'm just excited by when I hit this and I see them going up. The rails are becoming relevant to this game. That is, they were so relevant in reality. And I'm just so glad that we have that here now as being a real thing here as well. Hello, sorry, Court Ville, and then 1 through 8. Hello, how you doing? Good to have you here. Are you a Hearts of Iron player? So you're new here. Oh, I'm doing great. How are you doing? Of course, well, good. I don't know if you're familiar with this mod, but this is the World Ablaze mod we're playing here. Okay, now we are organized up, so let's push into this. Oh, come on. There we go. Well, it is a total conversion to a more historical game. So if you're looking at a more historically based game, I would definitely recommend it. Okay, we're in November 37, so if we start doing some 38 technologies, might not be too terrible. Yeah, we'll do that as well. Now, if you'll notice what I am doing here, and no, wrong. I haven't upgraded to these new versions yet. Why? Well, I know that, well, I don't know how big it is, but I know that going from one version of the 109 to another version of the 109 is not as bad a hit to your efficiency as jumping from 109s to 190s or putting it over to attackers or something like that. So it may not be very big of a disruption, but this is going to be coming pretty soon. So just spam out as more of these as I can efficiently, and then we'll switch over to a leapfrog over this. So we're going to do that, which is Germany's my favorite country to play. That is very much to be. It is the nation that drives the war until the 37 days, 35 days. We're gonna wait. We're gonna build panzers until the last third of the war. Germany is the main driving factor in World War II. Okay. Now, do realize with this mod, what they've done is doubled the number of factories basically in the game and adjusted things accordingly. So this way, if you're, it's a better balancing situation. So realize you got to keep that in mind of what's the balance of the mod. So yeah, it may seem like a lot, but it's not really that big. You need around 6 armored divisions before the war. Well, very good to know. We are currently just doing one at a time, and I lost one. So yeah. And to a point, Cortervelli, I guess I'll call you that. You got to sort of, this is a bit of a learning process to get away from the standard game to get into it. And I'm still just learning getting over to this. Okay, condors. Now, we'll improve our anti-aircraft, and now that we have condors, I'm going to put the condors in production. So I like condors. Oh, okay, we need more aluminum, or as the English say, aluminium. So let's see if we can come over here and we need more bauxite. Okay, we need more bauxite, which we can get from, we just go up one, which we'll take. And they've also expanded the number of civilian factories, but also adjusted things with that. Or 1,200 light tanks. Okay, good to know, Lone Wanderer. I'm building 2 production lines of the light tanks, Panzer IIs. I don't know if this is enough factories for that. And Panzer I's. I really think by now this should be at full efficiency. I think the ramping up is too slow. I like the idea that you you don't instantaneously get full. Okay, we need actually a little bit more bauxite, it looks like. Full efficiency right off the bat when you're doing stuff, but now hopefully now we can. Okay. It's strong, quite easy, and as you said, driving force in World 2, just find winning against the Allies very, very especially. Okay, well, yeah, I understand that it might be too easy because of the bad AIs and whatnot for combat. I get that. I'm looking for a historical game. And on that note, we're going to end the episode, not the live stream. Everyone who's live here, please hang loose. But those watching later on YouTube, thank you so much for watching. Thanks for liking the videos. And of course, please post your comments. See you next time for more, yes, more Hearts of Iron.